Global leaders will gather in South China's Hainan province for the 20th annual Boao Forum for Asia Conference. The event is expected to bring together some 2,000 participants from 29 countries. Most of the meetings will be held in person and will run from April 18th to the 21st. This year's theme is A World in Change. Discussions will focus on China's Belt and Road Initiative, as well as the ways new technology is changing global industry. Participants will mark the 20th anniversary of the forum as the world grapples with the challenges of the global pandemic. For more on the forum and the host province in Hainan, let's turn to Gong. He's a professor at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. John, Hainan has been this showcase. It's coming up on 20 years now. Hainan itself, though, has changed during that time. It's now home to the Hainan Free Trade Port. Talk to us about the changes and how this area has evolved.
Well, Hainan has been developing very rapidly in recent years, especially since the island has been designated by the central government as the special free trade pilot zone. The entire island is now turned into a free trade pilot zone. That means that there's a whole list of special policies introduced by the island government in terms of trade, investment, financial capital movement, and human movement. All these things are very conducive to making this island into a free trade island on the level of Singapore, for example. The island is really modeling after Singapore. And I think so far we have seen a fair amount of investments going there, companies going there. And also, I think a lot of foreign investment as well. The real estate market is booming over there. So it looks like it's a booming town right now.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous area. As a pilot zone, what are some of the things they're doing to entice businesses to the area?
I think the first and foremost tool is as everybody would expect, and as every government has tried before, that's the tax. The tax rate on Hainan Island is a lot lower compared to other parts of the country. Income tax is fixed at 15%, same as the tax rate in Hong Kong, for example. Custom duties is geared towards zero tariff at this point. So I think taxes are a great tool and being proven to be working in many cases. And I think Thailand is not going to be an exception. We're going to see a lot of investment, not just coming from overseas, but also coming from mainland China as well.
And what about the people part of this? Because you got to get the talent there as well. Is that an obstacle still? What are some of the challenges they face?
Well, you won't believe this. Actually, there's an infusion of people from mainland China, from the mainland part of China into the Hainan Island, especially from the northeast part of China, in provinces like Heilongjiang, in Jilin province, for example. A lot of people are moving there. Some move there on the thought of spending the winter there, but end up spending the whole year there, and they start a business. And I think the island is also being quite effective in terms of attracting talents. I know, that a university, Hainan University, for example, is offering very attractive conditions, offerings to people in the higher education community. So I think in all aspects, the island government is working very hard trying to attract talents.
And as it continues to grow, I know you made the comparison with Singapore. How might it impact Hong Kong as the longtime financial hub in the region?
Yeah, I think that's a major concern from a lot of people, I think. But the truth of the matter is that Hong Kong mostly remains as a financial hub. And I think, in that aspect, Hainan is way from that. I don't think that Hainan is anywhere close to that. But in terms of serving as a hub for international trade, for transportation, regional and overseas transportation, tourism, shopping, for things like that used to be Hong Kong's strength. I think there's a certain degree of substitution. But I think, overall, it's possible. I think it's quite likely that both places could still thrive on their own strength. I think the major market here in China is large enough to accommodate essentially two areas that are very much like free trade pilot zones.